Where shall I start? Well, it's been said that Jewish women are known to speak out and tell you what they think, and I'm one of them. I'm so tired of hearing Trump put down America, saying, "Make America great again," because America has been great since 1770.
Barbra Streisand just dropped a scorching rant on Donald Trump, and it was so brutal it could have shattered glass and egos. What did Trump do this time to send the legendary diva into full-blown fury mode? Did she reveal a jaw-dropping truth, or was it just a record-breaking high note of pure rage? Either way, this is a performance that deserves a place in the Drama Hall of Fame. Stay tuned, because if Trump claps back, we might be looking at the pettiest celebrity showdown of the year.
The children being ripped out of the arms of their parents. What ever happened to just being kind? And
I think we share something, which is we both hate liars. Mm-hmm. You know, you can do almost anything to me or say
That's
anything
right.
to
I
me.
agree.
Just don't lie to me.
I know. See,
it's such
I
a
was
great...
lied to as a child. That's why I'm so passionate about lies and people who lie. Truth communicates. Lies...
It reads, yeah.
Well, in this case, I mean, his lies seem to work for a bit. But truth eventually wins out, don't you think?
Well, people, it reads. It reads.
What do you mean? Just think about climate change. What's going to happen to your future, your children's future? This is a terrible problem. The Republicans and this administration have wiped off all of the information about climate truth. The truth of climate.
They don't even...
Barbra Streisand has officially had it. And when a living legend like Barbra hits her limit, you better believe the drama is about to go full Broadway. This isn't about a missed note or a flubbed lyric. Oh no, this time she's channeling her full show-stopping powerhouse fury straight at the one and only king of spray tans and Twitter meltdowns himself, Donald J. Trump.
You're a really great singer, but I'm really fantastic. I sing all the best words. When you hear me sing, you're gonna be blown away.
Oh, you mean like your hair in a windstorm?
Toupee, touche.
You ready? Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Nope, sad.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Donald Trump, the man who's been roasted more times than one of his own overcooked, overpriced steaks. He's no stranger to public call-outs. But when Barbra Streisand steps into the ring, that's when you know it's about to get operatic. Let's be honest, this is a woman who's spent decades mastering the art of the dramatic takedown, both on the big screen and off. And her latest rant? Oh, it's pure chef's kiss. A flawless serving of political shade, delivered with diva precision.
You know, lock up children, pull them away from their parents. I mean, that's what one of my songs is about. What's on my mind, it's called. So I was in tears. I couldn't. We walked around kind of numb. I'm still a little bit numb because I can't believe it happened.
If you're enjoying this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because Barbra Streisand just snapped. She couldn't hold back any longer and unleashed the kind of scorching takedown that could melt the very glue holding Trump's infamous comb-over together. And honestly, can you blame her? The man's been on an endless greatest hits tour of political train wrecks, from rambling speeches that sound like bad improv to dance moves that resemble a glitching animatronic at Chuck E. Cheese. At this point, Trump isn't just controversial, he's a walking, talking parody of himself.
Thank you for joining us. What did you think and feel when you watched Meryl Streep last night talk about a man who's going to be our president mocking someone's disability?
I thought that she said what she said beautifully. And it's easy enough to see the video online of Trump mocking. You just showed it, actually. And I completely agree with Meryl. It was a heartbreaking moment and so beneath the dignity of the presidency, let alone any respectful person. I mean, what we need more in this world, I think, is kindness and common decency. And what he did and how he reacts and how he has the need to talk back and insult anybody who doesn't agree with him. And that's pretty...
Let's take a moment to truly appreciate what sparked this latest Barbra-fueled explosion. Was it his unshakable commitment to playing golf while the world teeters on the edge? Was it the mountain of legal trouble piling up faster than his fast food orders? Or maybe it was just the fact that at this point, listening to Trump speak is like watching a raccoon argue with a garbage bag. Chaotic, loud, and weirdly captivating. Streisand has never been known for biting her tongue, especially when it comes to politics. She's been outspoken for decades. But somehow Trump has pushed her to a level of exasperation typically reserved for buffering video streams and crashing Zoom calls. And let's be honest, the man is basically a walking Wi-Fi dead zone when it comes to logic, reason, or coherent thought.
Certainly his reaction
but
was the
that's why
usual
you can't
rage.
trust anything he says, because if you get on his wrong side, you know, he will blast you negatively. And
Well, be
by the way,
prepared.
could you understand
Be
why
prepared,
he would have
Barbara.
had...
He's coming.
He
He's
had
coming.
a New Year's Eve party, but he wasn't generous enough to give that to his followers. You know, as a president, he had to charge for it, and then put that money into his club. I mean, don't you think that's a little...
What's truly hilarious about Trump's entire persona is how he's somehow mastered the art of failing upward. Most people, when faced with multiple bankruptcies, a mountain of lawsuits, and scandals that would make reality TV stars cover their faces in shame, might take a step back and reevaluate, but not Donald. Nope. He just doubles down, slaps his name on another doomed venture, and convinces his base he's the poster child of success. It's like watching a used car salesman aggressively hype up a vehicle while the engine is literally on fire behind him. And let's talk about how he handles criticism, or rather how he absolutely doesn't. If there's one thing Trump cannot tolerate, it's being publicly called out by a strong, intelligent woman. You want to witness a full-grown man have a kindergarten-level meltdown? Just flash a headline where a famous woman criticizes him. He spirals faster than a reality show contestant getting booted before the first rose ceremony. And Streisand? She's not just any woman, she's a cultural institution. When she calls you out, it's not just shade, it's a footnote in history.
Barbra Streisand got herself a big old wall. She is one of Trump's biggest critics on immigration, on building a wall.
Photographs in my head, the pictures, you know, the children being ripped out of the arms of their parents. I have such a passion for America, for my country, and I was trying to speak my truth.
A lot of women vote the way their husbands vote. They don't believe enough in their own thoughts. Maybe that woman who's so articulate, so experienced, and so fit for the presidency, Hillary, was too intimidating.
But she herself has a beautiful, beautiful wall and a beautiful gate where you can knock and ask to come inside. That wall ain't like butter.
Barbra, we love you. Hello, gorgeous. The movie was like butter.
Like butter.
Like a big stick of butter.
Barbra Streisand's takedown isn't your typical Trump is bad commentary we've all heard 100 times. No, she goes straight for the jugular. She calls out his catastrophic mishandling of everything: the economy, public health, international diplomacy, you name it. This isn't just throwing shade, it's a full-scale theatrical production of roasting him into political oblivion. And let's be honest, the man makes it way too easy. His entire persona is a living gift to comedians, late-night hosts, and now Barbra herself. From his infamous Twitter typos to his never-ending obsession with crowd sizes, to the time he stared directly at a solar eclipse like he was trying to challenge the sun to a staring contest, it's pure comedy gold. Of course, Streisand had to speak out. Watching Trump lead is like watching someone try to assemble IKEA furniture without a manual. Only the furniture is democracy, and instead of tools, he's just rage tweeting that the screws are rigged against him.
Disgraceful.
What do you make of the critique that Meryl Streep made last night, that you can push this thing and it becomes the norm? That it's like Daniel Patrick Moynihan, the senator, once said, you define deviancy downward, this kind of behavior becomes the normal political conversation.
Well, that's what it does. I mean, what's the signal to little children, you know, who watch television and see this is the behavior of the soon to be president of the United States, you know. Little girls were heartbroken when Hillary didn't get to be president. So I think it's what they see. Children will listen. I sang that in a song.
Here's the thing. Streisand does not care. And honestly, why should she? She's faced tougher critics than a guy whose greatest achievement is convincing people that gold-plated toilets are the height of class. This is a woman who's survived and thrived in Hollywood for decades, where actual talent matters more than an overblown ego and the ability to turn every sentence into a self-pitying monologue. Trump thinks he can win this war of words? Please. He's up against a woman who can hold a note longer than he can hold a coherent thought. Streisand's been a legend since before Trump started spray-tanning himself into an Oompa Loompa impersonator with a cabinet. This is a man who probably thinks Broadway is just a wider street in Manhattan. Meanwhile, Streisand owns it. She's sung through eras, through cultural shifts, through presidents. Trump, on the other hand, struggles to get through Happy Birthday without somehow making it about himself. This isn't a battle. It's a one-woman standing ovation, and Trump's not even in the program.
May I help you?
Be careful. Oh, be careful. He only listens to me. Get down, boy. All right, hold on.
That's good. Okay.
Well, you really are a prima donna.
No, you're a prima Donald.
Well, that's pretty good. You want to be my new campaign manager?
No way, Jose.
Jose, where is he? Get him out of here.
And let's be real. Streisand's rant isn't just about Trump. It's about everything he represents. The disregard for facts, the bottomless pit of ego, the desperate thirst for applause, and the need to center himself in literally every conversation. Watching him fumble through politics is like watching a reality show contestant wander onto a presidential debate stage, confused, unprepared, and somehow still demanding a trophy. Except this season has gone on way too long. It's The Apprentice, but instead of firing people, he's just firing off all-caps rants on social media at 3 a.m. Meanwhile, Streisand is doing what most of us wish we could, saying it all loudly, clearly, and in perfect pitch. She doesn't need Twitter tantrums or a web of conspiracy theories. She's got decades of success, respect, and undeniable talent. Trump might think he's the main character in this feud, but let's be honest, he's just the understudy in Streisand's world, and frankly, not even a convincing one.
What do you make of the political climate of the United States now?
Bad. Well, I like Biden. I like Biden. I think he's done a good job. I think he's compassionate. He's smart. He supports the right things.
How do you feel about the specter of a second Trump administration?
I will move. I can't live in this country if he became president.
But where would you go? Where would you go?
Probably to England. I like England.
What if I told you Barbra Streisand isn't the only celebrity taking live shots at Donald Trump? That's right, she's joined by a growing chorus of outspoken stars like Wanda Sykes and Rosie O'Donnell, who've turned Trump into both a punchline and a permanent fixture in their comedy arsenals. From stand-up sets to fiery interviews and late-night talk show takedowns, these entertainers aren't just throwing shade, they're launching full-blown comedic offensives. Trump's entire persona has become a walking, talking satire sketch, and they're not pulling any punches.
Talking somewhat about Donald Trump, hard not to these days. What's your opinion about President Trump?
Oh, sweet Jesus. Well, you know, it's like everyone's waiting for this moment for him to become presidential. Right. You know, they're like, oh, he has to learn how to control his emotions. He has to learn to be measured. You know, but the man is 70 years old. Those are things that you teach kids. You know, like I'm teaching my 7-year-olds those things.
Right.
You know, Trump is 70. He's not going to learn that now.
Yeah.
You know, if he's a dick, he's just going to be a dick.
All right.
That's it.
Okay, so...
Wanda Sykes didn't hold anything back. She tore into Trump's billionaire act, mocking how he struts around like a financial genius while treating bankruptcy like a loyalty card. One more stamp and the next one's free. He was handed a fortune and burned through it faster than a kid left alone in a toy store with no spending limit, and somehow still convinced people he's a business mastermind. At this point, his credit score probably faints every time he swipes a card. He calls himself the king of deals, but Wanda nailed the real trick. convincing working-class Americans that a guy obsessed with gold-plated toilets actually understands what it's like to struggle. Now that's the con of the century.
Yes. Do I blame Donald Trump? Of course I do. He's made everybody mad. Everybody just angry. Yeah, just everyone's just angry. And yeah, I'm out there. People know. Trump annoys me. His whole family annoys me. Yeah, the whole kit caboodle. They annoy.
Wanda kept going, tearing through Trump's long trail of failed ventures: the casinos, the airline, the so-called university, the overcooked steaks, even the vodka. According to her, this is a man who could bankrupt a lemonade stand. Yet somehow he still struts around like a Wall Street wizard, all while dodging lawsuits and tax returns like he's training for the Olympic dodgeball team. His one real skill? Branding, slapping his name on anything shiny, then quietly backing away when it inevitably collapses. Wanda cracked up as she pointed out Trump's idea of sacrifice isn't working overtime or scraping by. It's having to downgrade from a gold-plated penthouse to a slightly smaller mansion, and yet millions continue to buy the illusion, convinced he's a self-made mogul instead of what he really is, someone who stumbled upward on a mountain of inherited wealth and a gift for selling shiny, hollow dreams.
I never liked him.
Oh, really?
If you're 55 and you grew up on Long Island, you know that he's a fake, a phony, and a fraud.
Right.
There was no mystery to me, so I didn't have him on ever.
What is it like? What has it been like for you having the president of the United States criticize your physical appearance?
Well, not only my physical appearance, everything. My sexuality, my parenting, my wife. Like, he went really back.
As if Trump's chaos buffet wasn't already overflowing, Rosie O'Donnell just strolled in and dropped a full-blown nuclear gossip grenade right into the middle of his meltdown. The internet didn't just lose its mind, it launched into orbit. Rosie verbally body-slammed Trump like she was in a steel cage match with a steel chair and a WrestleMania contract. That clip? Instant comedy gold. Rosie went off. Precision timing, stand-up legend energy, delivering haymakers so savage even Trump's hairspray fortress couldn't withstand the impact. If his ego had airbags, they all deployed at once, and X, went full apocalypse mode. Memes exploded like 4th of July fireworks, gifs flew faster than Trump dodging subpoenas, and MAGA warriors were out here mashing the caps lock like they were trying to unlock a secret combo in Street Fighter. So what triggered this glorious digital meltdown? Simple. Decades of pent-up nonsense-fueled beef, finally served piping hot.
Well, he is a cruel, criminal, and mentally unstable man. And Duty to Warn was a book that came out when he was first in office. Psychiatrists across the country who don't ever really diagnose people that they don't serve personally came together and made a book, Duty to Warn, to tell the world what a narcissistic, mentally ill person he is. And I think he's the worst thing that ever happened to the United States. And his cruelty...
Trump's been coming for Rosie since the flip phone era, recycling the same tired grade school insults like a human glitch stuck in the Matrix. Slob, loser, train wreck. Bro, your vocabulary's been on a software update delay since 2006. But this time, Rosie wasn't playing defense. She went full scorched earth. Maybe she finally hit her limit. Maybe she got sick of his all-caps tantrums clogging up Truth Social like emotional spam. Or maybe she just woke up and thought, let's make this man question Wi-Fi altogether. Whatever the reason, she came in swinging, and not a single wig made it out alive. By the time she was done, the internet was a digital war zone. Late-night hosts were already scribbling punchlines. Comment sections turned into cage matches. And somewhere deep in Mar-a-Lago, Trump was probably hammering his phone so hard, autocorrect filed a workplace grievance. One thing's for sure, Rosie didn't just throw shade. She created a total solar eclipse, roasted everything in a 10-mile radius, and served the leftovers with a flaming side of well-done humiliation.
What's going on, mainstream media? You're not doing your job. And you haven't since he came down that escalator. You haven't been doing your job. If you would have told the truth about him from the beginning and stood up to the lies that Mark Burnett sold America on The Apprentice, we wouldn't be in this.
If history's taught us anything, it's that when Barbra Streisand and legends like her step up to the mic, they never miss a note, especially when they're tearing someone to shreds. And Trump? Let's just say he's about to learn the hard way that when a true diva takes center stage, there's no spotlight left for washed-up reality stars. Let's be real. Barbra Streisand has been owning stages since before Trump figured out how to apply orange foundation without a mirror. She's got pipes that could shatter glass and comebacks sharp enough to slice through steel-plated egos. And Trump? He's about to find out the hard truth. Going toe-to-toe with a Broadway legend is a whole lot harder than firing Gary Busey on The Apprentice. While he's rage-posting from a gold-plated Wi-Fi dead zone, Streisand's probably sipping tea, hitting flawless high notes, and reminding the world why you never mess with an icon. Curtain call for Trump? Oh, honey, that happened the moment Barbra opened her mouth.